Morning and welcome to Thursday, the 20th of November. I would like to pay my respects to the spirits of the land here where it is blue and sunny, and it's been a little bit of time since I've said that to you guys. So I'm hearing my friends on the mainland up the east coast going, it's so hot. And as you can see, I'm still wearing a jumper. So consider yourself lucky that it's still not cold. All right. Oh my gosh. Welcome to this Scorpio New Moon edition of How Deep Can You Go? All right. So it is a massive day today. All right. So I have been talking about it. I did a reel about it yesterday, random reel. But all right. So firstly, the new moon is at 5:46 p.m. So right now we are in the full dark depths of the Scorpio realm. All right, get comfortable, ladies, because it is an important time of year that we allow ourselves to go into that underworld. It is a time of complete rest. All right, and I got sick for this one. I got sick for my birthday, but this new moon has really taken me down to you need to rest. All right. So, if your body is saying rest, then you need to rest. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Karen. All right. It's not working, but here you are. So, mwah, to you both. All right. So, all right, I'm going to read the words. Actually, I'll read them from here because I did change them a little bit. All right, imagine you are setting off on a caving adventure. Spelunking is the word that you would use. You wouldn't go without a torch, the right clothing, and snacks, of course. But this new moon is similar to that. However, the torch that we are using is our inbuilt guidance system. All right, and you need to trust that your inner light will guide you. Careful planning and awareness has gotten you to the point where you can stop and look at all of those things that are hidden by time's effects. All right, it's your light that will show you the golden sparkle that has been dulled, like I said, by time. All right, now this week I have been talking about going back in time to see where are those old traumas? Where are the Scorpio crises that have stopped you from developing past that point? I mean, obviously life goes on and we just keep growing up. But I had this sort of awareness, like I had chronic tonsillitis when I was a kid. And right now I find it interesting that the topics that this Scorpio new moon has brought me to in relevance to the light to my age that I need to be dealing with right now. Like I have Jupiter in the sky going over my Saturn. All right, so there are some age old situations here that need to be looked at, addressed, and left behind, or acknowledged, loved, whatever. Look, whatever your thing is, all right, you're looking back, all right, because you already are in a deep, dark place, all right, and you're like, all right, what are these things? All right, so just think of that, your intuition, your guiding light, that that natural light that shines from you. Just having a look around and see what catches the light. Just like this beautiful piece of labradorite that has got all those flashes of amazing iridescence in them, or like a nugget of gold that's still got the dirt on it, but some of it has been touched and you can see the shimmer. You remember that there is treasure back there. Okay, so now in the current lineup is Venus at 16 of Scorpio, the moon at 23 of Scorpio, Lilith at 25 of Scorpio, the sun at 27 of Scorpio, and Mercury retrograde at 28:57 or something of Scorpio. So those things are already like, really tightly in this beautiful stellium of it is shadow work time, all right? It is time for you to address the things that you would normally try to sweep under the carpet, Mate, that carpet has got a lump in it the size of Everest, and you cannot avoid these things anymore. All right, they might be tricky topics, think Scorpio. So we've got, the normal keywords: sex or intimacy, death, transformation, taxes, investments, other people's money, the old trauma space, but also deep transformation. Like, oh my God, without Scorpio, then we wouldn't have the compost that then grows our beliefs. All right. So, the sun is almost up out of Scorpio, heading into Sagittarius, where we're like, ah, but we have to go through these spaces without fear, because we won't die. Like Persephone comes back up out of the depths, during her split between the underworld and life, where she's walking earth, and then she goes down into the realm where she's a queen again. She took that as her lot in life and took it as power. All right, so we all have those things that, whilst they hurt us in the moment, they ultimately gave us strength when we look at them from a mature perspective. Well, they say hindsight is 2020. It's just, it's that where we're walking along collecting tools of engagement or tools of coping skills on the way. So yeah, whilst it might be full on and you may need to just rest, it's still showing very, very poignant and deep lessons for this moment. All right, so let me click the button to see who is here. Hello, Christy. How are you? Nice to see you. All right, so firstly, we have 11 a.m. We have the moon is going to be trine that Jupiter Saturn. All right, so that's, or the sun moon, because they're conjunct. All right, so there's this sun moon in Scorpio, sun moon Mercury, Venus, Lilith, all the things are going to be trining that Jupiter Saturn. All right, so this is knowledge, awareness, insight, that is allowing us to do the planning that is necessary. So we've got this feeling of mature spiritual responsibility. All right, we have the ability to start to create reality around our imagination and our intuition. And, maybe it is a time of surrender, or prayer. Prayer is anything. Prayer is looking at the sun and thanking it for its life force. Prayer is just talking to the things that you cannot see yet, that are there. All right, so again, I don't use organized religion connotations. I just use the words that indicate that. So all right, now, so that 11 a.m. was the Jupiter Saturn. You might just use this mundane as it's a good time to plan things, or if you want a time to do something that's going to stick, then around that 11 a.m. would work. All right, so take the woo-woo out of it. 11 a.m. is a good time to do things. All right. Okay, so then we have 6 p.m. That is, so the new moon is at 5:46. All right. Now, the moon comes into conjunction to Mercury at 6 p.m. So, because the Cazimi, which is when when Mercury is conjunct the sun, that is at 8:22. So this is where all of these powerful realizations are going to come in. I think that first experience with the moon conjunct Mercury might just be us allowing ourselves to feel into the thoughts that we are thinking. Again, we need to go and revisit experiences. All right, and we experience things through our feeling and our memory. All right, but if we can rationally, or I think Aquarius, where we are emotionally detached from the thought. All right, we are already reminiscing. We don't have to feel the pain again. We can just observe. All right, so which detached as observation might be a good time. So that's around that 6 p.m. where we're starting to like make the connections. All right, because around that 8:22 is when we're going to get the oh my gosh things. All right, so the next big one is 8 p.m. when the moon and the sun are going to be in that opposition to Uranus. Sorry, moon, sun, Mercury, all at 28 degrees, are going to be in that opposition at around 8 p.m. And at the same time, they are also trine Neptune because Uranus and Neptune are tightly sextile. Are they sextile or are they trine? What am I doing? They are sextile. Sorry about that. Yes, they are sextile. All right, so there is also more indications that are showing imagination, awareness, higher insight, the universe rewarding you for the effort of the spiritual work that you're doing. All right, so because you are like armoring up or resigning yourself to the fact that now is the time to do the work, the universe is going to be like, go you, here's your reward, because Saturn's involved as well, you know. So rewards for effort. Doesn't matter what you do, Saturn rewards for the hard work that you do. He places restrictions on you. He throws trials and challenges at you, knowing that you can do the work. Okay, so whenever you're like in a hard situation, try to step back and go, what's the bigger picture here? What advice would I give to someone else if I could see someone else in this situation? Again, that detaching from the emotion of the moment so that you can see that bigger picture and the bigger lesson that's involved here. All right, so that's around 8 p.m. And like I said, the Cazimi is at 8:22. And then the sun starts its sextile to Pluto. Of course it does. So even though the sun is going to leave Scorpio on Saturday and move into Sagittarius, we still have a bunch of stuff in Scorpio, and the sun is going to start sextiling Pluto. So we've still got work happening. All right, we're still going to be doing the work up until, at least the end of November. Oh no, sorry. The sun is sextile Pluto at 6 a.m. on Monday the 24th. So, you can still see these themes moving through. But imagine, use that caving analogy. You are prepared. You've got all of the right equipment so that you don't scratch yourself up. You've got nourishment. You've got headlamps. You've got guide ropes. And this is that universe. I keep talking about that golden thread that is the North Node leading you forward. Like telling you that South Node is where you hang out comfortably and you just do the thing all the time that you've always done. But the North Node is like, no, follow, trust. Let me lead you and guide you. So absolutely trust your intuition today and just know that you've got this. All right, another big one, the more massive, well, not more massive, but big in the fact that it's an outer planet, is that Uranus sextile Neptune is at 1 p.m. today. All right, so here we are, more flashes of brilliance that are spiritually inspired, or because it is Uranus in Taurus retrograde, Neptune in Pisces retrograde. All right, so a sextile offers you the opportunity to get those cogs turning. All right, so if you're starting to realize, all right, Uranus, what it is that is making you uncomfortable because you're in the darkness having a look around, that might give you the Cazimi, like all of the things, the realization, the cogs start to turn about why you want to escape certain realities. All right, so there's that Neptune in Pisces. All right, so that's at 1 p.m. So even that is sparkly and bright, yet more like, oh my God, I get it. I get it. All right, so there's going to be lots of those type of things today. So I was saying to you yesterday, I'll just click the button. I was saying to you yesterday about all the things are happening over my Pluto. I feel like a puzzle right there. See, all the pieces are scattered and slowly being put back. Oh, that is perfect, Christy. That is a great analogy. Happy new moon, Anita. Hope you are well. I've still got my flowers here. There they are. My office smells gorgeous. Thank you. Now that 28-degree Sabian symbol that I was talking about yesterday, because Scorpio at 28 degrees is the king of the fairies returning home and approaching the king of the fairies approaching his domain. All right. So as we know, this is a time where we need to go deep. We've got, like, Christy's got Pluto all over the shop. There's Scorpio, there's Sun Pluto. Like, you can't escape this. So you might as well get comfortable and be prepared with all of the right gear on with you, and of course snacks and water. So and this really is about feeling in charge, all right, and returning home. All right. So again, like I was saying, I have found myself returning to my teen years. There are a lot of things that I need to address from back then. And, tonsillitis is not being able to freely speak up for yourself, or, not being able to voice your concerns or your opinions. And although I can now, as my older person, going back to that girl, going back to that Bridget and supporting her. So I don't know if any of you saw, I posted a little thing that I was geeking out on, and it's about, when particles are witnessed, they change their form. And it talks about, looking at something in the present and it altering the past. All right. So just if you want to go and have a listen to the scientific explanation, way better than I just explained it, just pop over and have a look. It's only a couple of minutes, but it's just talking about the fact that if we address things in this moment, we can alter the past. And because we are altering the past, we are then not constrained by its effects. From that point forward, life will be different. All right. So again, I did not explain that the way that the guy did. I just liked the way he explained it. It was really gentle and it made sense. So just go and have a look at that. Very, very interesting. And I have gone on quite a bit today, but we are going to do the Scorpio moon cards. I didn't even do it yesterday. Oh, my bad, guys. My bad. Obviously, it was waiting for today. All right, so Scorpio moon. I mean, I hope everybody is just cruising through or managing it well, Managing it well would be a better way to put it, because it is tricky and it is uncomfortable, but you can't have this many planetary things pointing to the same thing and not go, okay, all right, I'll have a look. This one. Procrastination. Oh, I like that. I like that, because have we always procrastinated on things because back in the day, maybe we did something wrong, and from then we've got that fear of starting. Where's my glasses? All right, it is also card number 8. You are being called to action. There have been important tasks that you have delayed. Even if something that you don't, even if it's something that you don't want to do, like cleaning, paying bills, or looking for a job, now is the time to take responsibility and move forward. The point of power is always in the present. This card is showing you that there is an urgency for you to take action. If you've been putting off something that is meaningful to you and doubting whether you can do it, the message is to have courage to face your fears and do what you love. What is the worst thing that can happen? You make a mistake? Meh. Even if you do, you will learn. All right. So, the action for this one is talking about you know, writing a list of all the tasks that you've put off. But I'm just going to add to that one as well. Maybe you can write a list about the observations when you are sitting quietly and taking the time to sort of think about those times that may have stopped you or stopped your development in its tracks. So, very, very much about personal development right now and responsibility for your dreams. It's good morning, Louise. How are you? So that's me, guys. Wow, this has been 20 minutes. So, you know, it is a big moon and it is very important. And make sure you're getting the support that you need to go and look at the, you know, look at those things and see whether you can catch you know, the flashes of brilliance that are readily available for you to just having to stop and have a look around. So, mwah, my love to you, and I will see you guys tomorrow.